Raider Nation, let's go, let's go. Raider Nation, let's go, let's go. Raider Nation, are you ready for some football?
The free agent pickup from the Buffalo Bills will get the start at quarterback tonight as he battles Connor Cook for the number 2 job behind Derek Carr. Not expecting to see Derek tonight. And the first throw from Manuel is complete to one of the other big free agent pickups, Cordero Patterson.
I like Patterson a lot. That was a good pickup. You got a couple of guys in there who won't be in there at the start. You got Kirkland, Moyle, and Simmons. But both those tackles will be there. And both of them actually have played pretty darn well in preseason. I'm anxious to see exactly how they handle things.
Roberts and Patterson, they might be the 3rd and 4th receivers on the final roster, but that 5th spot is up for grabs for the next couple of weeks. And the give is to DeAndre Washington. A nice little shimmy shake out across the 35 and the 39.
Beth, one of the guys that everybody talks about what kind of training camp he's had. They just said he's been tearing it up, and it's been stuff like this. Good vision to watch him cut back inside, and he just finds that little crack, and it's a first down. So he's been having a camp just like that, and they're hopeful that it continues.
9-yard pickup for Washington. He was over 450 yards rushing last year. Richard was close to 500 rushing, the 2 newcomers a year ago. They look pretty solid for jobs, working alongside Lynch and Jameis Olawale, the fullback.
Well done.
Roberts with the catch for the first down. Good man out of the slot last year.
Yeah, he understands how to play that position as Roberts, but E.J. Manuel read it perfectly. So they know what they had on. He knew he had a blitz coming from the top side. Now he's going to just follow and then just make an accurate throw. It's just nicely done. I think a lot of pressure is off E.J. Manuel. I think you're going to see a better E.J. Manuel than what we saw up in Buffalo.
That was a 13-yard strike. Todd Downing, the new OC, talked about how he's rediscovered his joy of the game and his passion to play again. Washington with the carry. They tried to run between the tackles. May have gotten back to the line. Of course, it was one of the top offensive lines in the NFL last year. And Osemele, Hudson, Gabe Jackson, all back together right up the middle. Still some uncertainty about when Donald Penn may return to left tackle. Marshall Newhouse.
Release to the hands to the face defense. Number 97. 5-yard penalty, of course, from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Marshall Newhouse, who they thought would be at right tackle, is over on the left side during camp.
He's playing well.
Yep.
He has had an excellent camp. And, Donald Penn, I think, is a guy, he's a 34-year-old guy, holding out a little bit right now. I think should probably rethink that. And I'm all for it, don't get me wrong, but, yeah, sometimes you just got to read the tea leaves a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Manuel. Pass is caught by Lee Smith. Another toss to a tight end, down to Nicole on the sideline.
Hey, that Derek Carr may not be playing in this game tonight, but he is definitely active on the sideline. He started the game talking to E.J. Manuel. He then went down to his new offensive coordinator, Todd Downing, had a conversation with him. Right now on this drive, of course, he's part of the action. Todd Downing and Derek Carr, look at that relationship this season, because his mental game this season, Downing said he is dialed into consistency, precision. His grasp of our system is really impressive. Can't wait to see it in regular season games, Beth.
The handoff there to Washington, slips and falls in the backfield. Derek Carr, I think that statistically what I liked about him the last few years, that completion percentage, Matt, keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, so what you want for a player is to play with the fundamentals as fast as you can. And I think, right now he's at that point where he can really take off. I still think you're going to see his best football coming. Nice 3rd down right here. Let's see how this O-line protects. Looks like they're bringing 4, and that's it. Possibly 5 off the top side.
It will be 4-man coming. Roberts with the catch. Knocked out of bounds by the Honey Badger, shy of the marker.
I love that kid. Teron Matthews, that's a really good player. Very versatile, great instincts. He had Roberts in his sight the whole time and just finished it right there.
So Sebastian Janikowski will come on for the Raiders. The NFL record, 55 field goals of over 50 yards. He'll try this one from 51. And it will not get there. Cardinals special teams come through, and the Raiders are denied. First quarter attempts on that last drive. Jalen Richard is now in as the offset tailback. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter. And Richard met in the backfield. Once again, the Raiders going almost exclusively with that second string unit. We have seen a little bit of Vidal Alexander and Newhouse at the 2 tackle spots. And that should take care of the first quarter here at Arizona. The Raiders opening up their preseason. Coming off a playoff team from a year ago, a 12-win season. High expectations for Raider Nation with the beast mode in the silver and black. Jack Del Rio for more. Let's go down to the field and JT.
Thanks, Beth. Matt was talking about the defensive line, especially the defensive tackles. Vanderdoes, Mario Edwards Jr., the way Jelly Ellis played on that last series is a must for the silver and black this year. They have to play at a higher level to give Mac more freedom to roam and knock down sacks again. They're very encouraged here on the sideline, Matt, that they were able to get off the field. Back to you.
Yeah, so they're going to need that. Really, JT, the bottom line is this front seven is going to dictate how well this Raider team does. This defensive front. They have to mature quickly at the linebacker spot. Jack knows that. And then the defensive line, nice throw. The defensive line inside, if they can get any kind of push, that will benefit Mack and Irvin greatly.
Yeah, Mack and Irvin combined for 18 sacks last year, but the rest of the team had just 7. That was a total of 25 was the fewest in the league, so they've really put an emphasis on that in camp. And we talked to Jack Del Rio last night, and he said he really thinks they've got the tools now with their defensive tackles and along that front line.
They have the potential. Sometimes potential is a 4-letter word.
The offense trying to convert right now and keep that defense on the sideline a bit longer.
Get the ball to 84 in his hands.
See if they go to Cordero Patterson. And there he is, spinning away from the defender and out to the 45-yard line.
Well done. Yeah, that kid with the ball in his hands is magic. That's going to be a huge piece for the Raiders. You add him back inside. Like you see, the safety's already anticipating it. This kid's, that's a good player. I mean, that's a really good player. He's been more mature. He understands the game better. He's good.
17 yards, most of that after the catch for Patterson, now in his 5th year out of Tennessee. Richard. Good cut out to midfield. Williams with the tackle.
It's a nice pick up of 5 right there. He had no help on the outside. That last cut picked up probably 3 of those yards. And keep in mind, this offensive line is kind of a. It's not your starting group
tonight.
Yeah, it's patchwork.
Trying to get a look at what kind of depth they have.
And this is the second game for the Cards, so they're playing their starting group a little bit longer.
Looks like you got Ian Silverman in there, the second-year man out of BC at center. Richard using that low center of gravity to grind out a couple more yards down to the 46. Looks like he's going to be just a bit short of the yard to gain.
Short yardage goal line. This is what you don't really. This is what you don't see much anymore. This comes down to low pad level and coming off the ball, and this is what you don't practice a lot of in training camp anymore.
They'll go with 3 tight ends on 3rd and short. This is Richard trying to dance to the outside, and he's stuffed.
Can't dance. You never dance in short yardage.
Now with Robert Kimdichie bearing down on you.
soon as he shifted his feet to the outside, I'm going to show you right there, you're beat. You've got to hit it right away. There was nothing there. They got beat at the point of line of scrimmage.
Yeah, looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th and 1.
Let's see if it's less than 1. It's about a half a yard, not even. Let's see what kind of push we get inside here.
Richard doesn't get there. There was nowhere for him to go right up the middle.
Yeah, it didn't look like Gabe Holmes. Watch 82. It doesn't look like he gets a really good piece of this guy, and it just gets right inside. Slanted to that side, and they slanted right.
Raiders turn it over on downs. A 7-0 Cardinal lead.
Download it today. It's available on the App Store and on Google Play for Android users. Now you can stay in touch with the Raiders anytime, anywhere. Back up to you, Beth.
Thank you very much, Nicole. I've got 5 players to keep an eye on during tonight's matchup with the Cardinals on the Raider app. Matt, Markel Lee is one of them. We've been keeping our eye on him tonight. KJ Brent, Eddie Vanderdoes. I'm stalling on that one for the time being. Vidal Alexander. And offensive coordinator Todd Downing. It's back to E.J. Manuel. And we've already seen tonight they're utilizing the tight ends a lot more. Clive Walford and Lee Smith even had a catch tonight.
Yeah.
We won't see Jared Cook perhaps until the second game of the preseason. But Downing, who's been the quarterback coach the last couple of years, his lineage is through Scott Linehan, the current OC with the Cowboys.
Yeah, so he spent some time in a lot of different places, which you have to do. He's been in the league a while. He understands it, but, bottom line is you still have to, you gotta produce.
Manuel trying to go over the top, looking for Cordell Patterson, and that is his first for 7. The last 3 years under Bill Musgrave and with Downing and the rest of this offensive staff, the scoring has improved from number 31 in the league to 7th best in the NFL last year, an improvement of over 10 points per game. Of course, that guy had an awful lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, it'll look a little bit different when he's in there. And the offensive lines together. And Marshawn Lynch is running the football.
2nd and 10 and a loss of a couple. What excites you the most about Lynch when he finally does get in there?
I'm a big fan of his. To me, he is the same guy and the same story as John Riggins.
Yep.
Big, powerful man. Rigo's a little bit bigger than him, but Rigo played the Jets, got traded, went to Washington, quit, and then came back and then had a phenomenal comeback. And I expect to see the same thing with Marshawn Lynch. Big, powerful guy, hard to knock off his feet.
Won a Super Bowl MVP back in 1982 to Ravens. Manuel sacked. Down he goes at the 13. That was Kareem Martin who got to him, and the punting unit will come on.
Had to wait a little bit too long for that to develop. When that happens, protection kind of breaks down. That came on the backside there. Cal Alexander looks like he got beat.
Marquette King on to punt. Heels on the goal line for the Raiders. 2nd team All-Pro, who had the 2nd best average in the NFL last season.
Nice kick.
Kerwin Williams gets a running start. And then wrapped up out across the 48 yards on the return. That was Isaac Whitney, who had the coverage guy looking for a job on special teams. If Branch has those numbers on his resume.
Yeah, I never got that. CB was a big play waiting to happen all the time. I just tell you a little quick story. I was in Pittsburgh. This is years ago, and and Mel Blount was there, and I was like, Mel, how you doing? And Mel's a big man. Mel is a big man. And he was a cover two, cover two corner. I was like,
great defensive back for the Steelers. Yeah.
In the Hall of Fame, I said, Mel, I'm going to say two words to you, don't back up. Cliff Branch. He was not very happy with that. Because Cliff used to run by him.
Those were the glory days of that rivalry right there with the Steelers and the Raiders. There's a little footage of Cliff.
Here's CB. Speed kills, man, 21. Played with him. Oh, nice by Walker. Beautiful throw.
Good catch over the top. Nice touch by Manuel as they run the 2-minute drill here. They'll hustle up and spike. 29 yards on the toss.
Yeah, you couldn't have thrown this better. Walford got on top of the backer. They're dancing.
Actually, they'll pass on the spike and snap it. Manuel caught out in the flat. That's Mickens with the catch. Clock continues to run down to 5 seconds, and now the timeout will come.
That wasn't good.
Timeout open.
Lost about 10 seconds or so off the clock after that catch. Their final timeout, and they are going to bring Giorgio Tavecchio on with a field goal attempt.
43-yarder. Remember last time they tried it got blocked. Janikowski's kick was blocked, and they got pressure on the inside.
Now you see Manuel tapping his chest a few times there, saying, "That's me, that's on me," as he talks to Todd Downing. So now Tavecchio. A 43-yard attempt to close out the first half to try and get the Raiders on the board.
They got it.
He's got plenty of leg, and it is good. So the big throw, 28 yards, Manuel to Walford, setting up the Raiders.
This is the end.
And they get points up on the Tavecchio field goal. Let's send it down to the field now with Nicole and Coach Del Rio.
Coach, overall, how would you say you're executing what you set to work on in the first half?
We got good looks. A lot of tape to evaluate. I'd say not so good on third down defense. We got them in a third down, manageable situation. We've got to get off the field there. A little disappointed on 3rd and 1/4, the one we didn't convert there. But a lot of good tape, a lot of effort being given out. Certainly much to clean up.
What would you like to see more of in the second half?
Just cleaner. Just get off the field on third down, convert more on offense. Let's score 17 or more points on them in the second half and not give them any more.
Yeah, for these fans, I don't know if I'm at a home game or an away game. How about the Raiders' presence in the stands?
We've got our fans travel amazingly. Great to see them out here supporting us like this.
All right, thank you, Jack. Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Yeah, the Cardinals were 8 for 10 on third downs in that first half. They lead at 17-3. JT will be back with all the halftime festivities right after this.
Here we come, baby, just win, baby. Feel the storm of the cold autumn wind, baby. It's the Oakland Raiders, get your mouthpiece. You in